Alright, welcome. Today we're going to be showing you guys how to disassemble your MR2 in order to Kswap it. This will be part 1, and I'm going to be showing you how to take apart the interior, i.e. the shifter, this center console right here, taking the shifter out, disconnecting the fuel pump, and also taking the harness out from inside the car that runs through that hole right there, back into the engine bay. We're going to be taking that out and converting it to a swap harness. So let's get started. First, what you want to do is you're going to take out these 4 screws right here, 2 on each side, to the side, and then there's one right here and one right here as well, and also there's going to be 2 screws right here. Once you take that out, then this is going to come out, and you're going to just remove this and put it to the other side of the car if you don't have a seat, or put it somewhere safe. And after that, what we're going to do is disassemble the shifter bracket. You could take these cables off, or you could leave them on. That's totally up to you. I just leave them on and pull them through one at a time. But you go ahead and you disassemble. Keep these bolts because you could use them to install the RSX shifter. Stop. Take this one out. So what you're going to do is you're going to poke this. It's hard to do with one hand, but you're going to poke these little clips through that connect the wire. Pull it out like that. I just use a flat tip and poke each side. Poke these out. Also the same thing right here, and that one was already out. So once you do that, this bolt out. Once you do that, you can pull that out right there. And then you're gonna take this back part off. Well, these nuts. Pause. All right, pop this off. You're gonna grab your flat tip, pop this panel off, and this will come off just like that. Pull this out, and this helps if you have another hand, somebody that could help you guide the cables through if they're stuck. Yeah, and then you push these in. It's nice if you have some help, and voila. You've now taken out the shifter out of the MR2. So that's taken out. You keep these, like I tend to use them, and put my RSX cables under them. So I'll put this back. Just leave this in place. So after you take this off right here, and you have the shifter out, what you're going to do is you're going to disconnect the fuel pump wire and the sending unit for the fuel gauge under this dash right here. So you need to pop the center console out, and then you'll see I'll show you those 2 wires. So you screw this little part off right here that goes around this, and it keeps the other center console in line. So this is all pop out once you take these screws out down here. They're normally here, and I don't see any screws here right now. So this is just going to pop out. So you're just going to grab it, you're just going to pull it out just like that. It's hard to do with one hand. You just pull this out. You disconnect the emergency signals, the 4-way flashes, whatever y'all call them, depending on where you live. You get the 4-way flashers disconnected back there, and you can pull this out. You set this outside the car, set it in your driver's seat, passenger seat, whatever it may be. Now you're going to disconnect this ashtray. All right. So I had to put the camera down to disconnect these, but these are the 2 wires that I show you, the 2 plugs. Disconnect that one, and you disconnect this one. Now, a good practice is if you're going to drop your fuel tank, you might just want to disconnect this right here while you're at it, or you could just pull it through. It doesn't matter. You could pull these wires through, but you could also disconnect this panel. Just pull this out. Right here, this grommet. You can put that back once you're done. But that is that. You disconnect the fuel pump and the sending unit. And now when you go under, you drop the tank, you won't have any issues. So now we're gonna move on to taking the chassis harness out for you to get it ready to swap, to build a swap harness for it. Chassis harness runs along the driver's side door and into the engine bay through that hole. All right, now I'm gonna show you how to remove the chassis harness. The chassis harness runs from down below by the clutch pedal. It runs along the driver's side door, along this way, all along the door, to the back firewall, into the engine bay, here to the fuse box, along the trunk, and to the rear brake lights. In order to remove this, we're going to pull it from the inside the car, through the firewall, and back into the trunk, and remove it through here. So the first thing you're going to want to do is unplug these plugs, three medium-sized plugs, and then there's one big plug. You're going to unplug these. There is also two 10mm bolts here and here, holding in the power cable. You're going to want to remove that. I already had them unbolted. So you're going to take that out. This is normally bolted to the car, but it's not. So you're going to take the power cable out. So you do that, you come along the side, lift these up. These will come up by hand. Push the carpet back and pop these little clips off. These little clips are normally over this part of the car. So you just pop these off. And as simple as that to remove the harness inside the car. There's also a ground that's bolted to this right here, this little black and white ground. Make sure you unbolt that. A lot of people forget to do that. When you come along the back, you're going to have the rear window defrost, which is already unplugged. You're going to take that out. Third brake light, which is up here, you're going to take that out. Now this runs along this way and goes up behind, along this way, and goes up behind the trim pieces inside the car. You're going to undo these if you want to take your entire interior apart, or you could just cut them and splice them back together. I wouldn't do that, but you're also going to remove the speaker plug. You're going to unplug that door chime. Take that out. Right here, you're going to unplug this fuel pump wire. And after you unplug all of these and remove the ground and remove the thing up front, all the plugs up front, then you're going to move towards the engine bay. You're going to unbolt it here. There's also another bolt right here that goes to the firewall, but this firewall has been removed. Then you're going to unclip it here. You're going to pick this up. Granted, this is with the engine already removed. If your engine's not removed, you're going to have other plugs that you're going to have to unplug from in here. You're going to have another wire that's going to run to this fuse box. So you're going to have to unbolt it and remove that wire along with your engine. And after you have all that unplugged, what you're going to do is you're going to pull this through slowly. You're going to pull this through. And just like that, you've removed the chassis harness from inside the car. And after you're done all that, you're going to come back here and you're going to unclip the brake lights, the brake light wires. Run back here, back there. You also have these for the trunk latch as well. I guess these are the little trunk sensors. Pull all this through. Take this out. And then that is your chassis harness that you could ship to Toyonda to get made or converted into the Kswap harness. Or you could order the part and do it yourself online. I'll post a link here with a how-to on the website of how you could do that as well. But you pick this up, you put it in a box, you ship it out, or you take this and strip it all down yourself and have it made.
All right, guys, so what you want to do, you want to open up your browser and you want to go to Toyonda206.com. All right, so once you get to Toyonda206.com and you're trying to search for this harness, pretty easy. Just click the little tab in the left-hand corner, search swap harness. I don't know what I was typing here. All right, you're going to select the swap harness. They also have bundles as well that you could get your engine mounts. You get other things with your swap harness. That's what I was talking about. You could order an engine mount. You could order the bolt kit. You could order the tucked harness, fuel pressure regulator, axles, a lot of stuff. You could order everything you need to swap your MR2 from just one place. But here, let's get into this. So you're going to select swap harness. You're going to select your ECU type, whether it's K-Pro or what. And you're going to select if you want a bundle. Me, I'm not selecting a bundle here. If you want it plug and play. If you want to add mounts, if you want to add, other stuff to your bundle to check out. So everything will just be plug and play for you. If you want it plug and play, you just select send in your harness and Toyonda wired in for you. Select your fuel pump wire, upgrade, what do you want? Your hardware kit, if you want to get stuff to mount it. If you don't, you didn't select any of that. You could select the bushings for your engine mount, your engine type, and what dash display you'll be using for your harness. I'll be running a tablet, so that's why I select tablet. Oops, I forgot to select what kind of mounts I want. I didn't get any mounts, so I'm just going to go ahead and check out. And that's it. You could either select to send in your harness, or you could select to just order that piece and just do it yourself. But once again, thanks for watching my videos. Like, share, subscribe. Come back and check me out. And stay tuned for part 2 on how to clean up your engine bay for your Kswap.